Yo, Super Bowl 58 is here and it's on. Your boy Jersey Murph back partnering up with the great folks over at DraftKings who wanted me to tell you that new customers placing a $5 bet will get $200 in bonus bets instantly. All you have to do is head on over to your Google Play or Apple Store, enter my promo code TOPBILLIN, and it's on. Want to know what you can do with $200 in bonus bets? You can combine multiple bets from Super Bowl 58 for a shot at an even bigger payout. And if you're already signed up for DraftKings like your boy Jersey Murph here, you can make a bet on Super Bowl 58 and get that back in the form of a bonus bet. You will get a bonus bet back in the amount of your initial wager. How does that sound? And if you don't have online wagering in your state, it's all good. DraftKings Daily Fantasy has you covered. You can still get in on all the fun and the action, right? Just head on over to that Google Play Apple Store. Make sure you download that DraftKings Sportsbook. Enter the promo code TOPBILLIN and it's on, baby. What are you waiting for? Let's get after it right now.
What more can I say?
Top Billin. Yo, does anyone remember when I made this video after your man 1-900 Shotty got dial tone from the Seattle Seahawks? I spoke about my man Eric Bieniemy needing to detach himself from the large shadow that Andy Reid casts. Now, at the time, people were saying, oh, that's stupid. He just needs to get an OC job. But listen, I think logically, like I said back then, you can only touch the stove so many times before you believe that it's hot. Him continuously getting shut out for head coaching jobs meant that he needed to do something else. So he did actually leave to be an OC elsewhere in Washington. Now, while that came with mixed reviews, it's still appalling to me that he's in the same exact situation. This time, even worse. Not only was he shut out of the head coaching jobs or the head coaching opportunities in the NFL and college, he's not even getting looks as an offensive coordinator anymore. I have not heard anything about this man in a potential Seahawks pairing, right? 3 years later, it could come to fruition right here for your boy. And it's crazy to me. Think about this. I'm looking at the curated stories on my man Eric Bieniemy here, and it's crazy. You got RG3 here slaps Eric Bieniemy with harsh Chiefs reality amid coaching fail. They're talking about Eric Bieniemy having to go back to the Kansas City Chiefs. If he goes back to the Kansas City Chiefs, it's a wrap. You can call it a wrap. He will be a career Andy Reid assistant or some low-level assistant somewhere else. How would you be able to look at him and think that he left Andy Reid, failed, went downward, and had to go back to Andy Reid where he had needed to leave in the first place to show that he could do something on his own? This is a travesty, man, an absolute travesty, especially when you weigh it against something like this. A cat that I happen to like a lot, Mike Kafka. He was a former Eagle and a longtime Andy Reid assistant, obviously, as well. So I look at his, and it's like, Giants block Mike Kafka from potential offensive coordinator move. Seahawks tied the 3 offensive coordinator candidates amid reports here. So obviously they were talking about the Seahawks being interested in Mike Kafka. How does that make any sense, right, if we're weighing against Eric Bieniemy? What's the difference? You can't say that Mike Kafka had a good year. All right, we start right here. NFL team total offense for 2023. You have your regular cast of characters there. You have the Dolphins, the Whiners, the Lions, the Bills, the Cowgirls, the Ravens, Rams, Eagles, right? All these playoff teams, no doubt about that. Where are the New York Giants? Yeah. Bang, now we see them, right? 4th from the bottom, so 29th. They were the 29th. They were averaging 15.6 points per game. Came up with 4,700 yards. Whatever excuse you want to use, whether it be the injury to Daniel Jones or you want to call it a reason there, I can kind of agree with that. But they did have some serviceable backups in Tyrod Taylor and my man Mike DeVito, I forget what his nickname is, but man from Jersey. The results are still the results, though. 15.6 points per game. And you have Eric Bieniemy right here, the Washington Commanders, obviously higher on the totem pole at 19.4 points per game. Now, the Washington Commanders also were playing with somebody who probably would be a backup on any other team or most teams. Although I really do like my man Yosemite Sam Howell. I think he can be a pretty good quarterback in this league, depending on how things shake out there. He has some really good moments, no doubt about that. But for the most part, you would have to say that it probably was a failure. But you can't say that man wasn't putting up some offense, right? They still came around with 5,300 yards compared to the Giants' 4,700 yards and, of course, almost 4 more points per game. What are we doing here? Why is he getting the looks? Matter of fact, Washington wasn't too far away from Seattle, right? You know, they were doing Seattle at 5,400 yards themselves. They have more than the Commanders. They're 21.4 points per game. I think Eric Bieniemy, with his style of offense, with that cast of characters in Seattle, right? He had a really good cast of characters in Washington as far as the receivers go, the tight ends, but he had a poor offensive line as usual like they have in Washington, and, of course, the quarterback. I don't know how it'll shake out at the quarterback spot. He could very well grab himself a veteran quarterback, whether it be at Geno's or Drew Lock. And they could go in the direction of a rookie. I don't know about that, but I do know that it will probably be a lot better setup just for the fact that as bad as the Seattle Seahawks offensive line is, it's much better than the Washington Commanders offensive line, in my opinion, especially at full strength. So he'll have 2 good running backs, 2 or 3 good running backs like he had in Washington. He'll have a dope-ass wide receiver core just like he had in Washington. I believe Washington has a top 5 receiver core as well as the Seattle Seahawks do. So come on now, he wouldn't be a good fit. Matter of fact, I wanted him potentially as the Eagles offensive coordinator, so I did a study on him. I'll repurpose that right here so you guys can see how good it could fit in Seattle, and they could be a high-flying passing attack. It's not going to be a deep dive film study. We'll do that on whoever the actual replacement is for Pete Carroll, but you have to take into account that man does have some dope-ass throwing concepts. He can really get it done through the air. He's extremely aggressive, and I like how he targets the middle of the field. I know the Seahawks were like that as well. On this one right here, man, you could just see pretty much 3 in-breaking routes here, and they have the tight end in the slot. They have Jahan Dotson, my man, in the tight slot right here, and then Curtis Samuel there, putting pressure in man coverage, especially if they can catch you in man coverage. They're going to make you show that you can defend, and getting people matched up on the safeties there. Look at that, bang, on the inside route right there. I could definitely imagine that being somebody like Noah Fant. I think if Noah Fant catches something like that with his type of speed and athleticism, he might take it to the crib. But, yeah, definitely likes to slant and or target the middle of the field. If you try to run middle field closed on him, they will target the hedges, though, and really get you. But they definitely want to catch you and kind of make you come up out of that zone. Really like this concept right here. You get that fade on the outside. You get an in-breaking route right here by the tight end. Then you get a widening and almost like an adjustment here. I'm not sure how you run this right here. It takes a wide approach just to get it vert and bend it back on the inside. Once again, getting your receiver matched up with a safety here, or the third safety in the game, Sidney Brown. And, yeah, it's definitely not something that Philly want to see. Again, look at that. Banged them to the inside right there. You catch them in a combination coverage right there. My man's already out leveraged. Great throw right here by Sam Howell. Puts it up on him there. There is nothing really bad. Just some quick analysis just to kind of give you an overview of what Eric Bieniemy likes to do. So he's going to be working out of a ton of 11 personnel. He will rock with a little 12 personnel just to do more of tendency breaker type stuff. But he loves working with 11 personnel, and he will contract, as you see right here. I love how on some of these short yardage plays, it's just pretty much on site, meaning instead of them working to the sticks like you see right here with Terry McLaurin, we'll work to the sticks like we do in Philly, right? Everything to the sticks, right? Nothing moving or nothing where you can get the ball really quick. They'll go as soon as they see daylight. So if the cornerback widens right here, or the nickelback widens right here, or whomever that is, and then you have your corner out here, and they have that much room, they'll run right really quick just to get them the ball and let them turn up field. That's how it should be done a lot of the times, in my opinion, instead of running to the sticks. Look at this. Boom, real quick, let them get upfield. Didn't run to the sticks, so it's a risky throw there. But if you know you can get the ball out fast and make a quick decision there, why not? Look at that. He barely, 1, 2, 3 steps, right? So pretty much hitched it, and then get him the ball real quick, let him make a decision, get upfield, get north-south, slips a tackle right there from A.J. Terrell, gets himself a first down still. Now you get an expansion. So we went from the contract with the tight splits to now you have plus splits. So he's always going to be working with motion as well. We see here, motion from empty into the backfield. You can see that means there's some type of combination coverage. What do? Come right behind that right there, making the linebacker vacate the premises. Right behind him. No play action necessary or needed. Just use what they're doing against themselves, right? So if the linebacker followed him, right, they were going to work out of that stack there. Backer followed him in. You know the backer's going to have to follow him out as well. So one in, one out. Come right behind that with the slant right here to McLaurin, who's out leveraged A.J. Terrell right there. Gets himself a nice gainer. Contract and expand. One thing that I noticed about the Eric Bieniemy offense, same deal when he was on the Coach Reed in Kansas City, is that they'll have those little tap passes. They'll have those shovel passes. They'll have a lot of ways to get the QB some extra stats, right? A lot of stuff that is kind of risk-averse, because if you don't complete this pass with it going forward, what is it? It's an incompletion. You know what I mean? It's a lot different than trying to hand the ball off and you may fumble or something like that. These type of plays should be in vogue in everybody's offense. I mean, why not? You get a guy like Curtis Samuel who can run like that. Look at you. Get yourself a nice gainer with him right there hitting the edges. Now look at this. Both backs in the backfield. So 21 personnel. You got two tight set right here. And what do? Play action, split flow. And look at that. Too easy. Too easy. Like, come on. We need more easier plays. How many times in the Eagles offense does it look like Jalen Hurts has to make a spectacular throw over somebody for it to be completed? Where are the easy throws at? That's what a good offensive coordinator will do. That's what Andy Reid specialized in. It was a lot of easy throws, a lot of where guys were just running wide open and all that like that. And I see that in Eric Bieniemy's offense. Now he has a lot of it's hard to judge though with Sam Howell and his lack of experience, although you would think as the season went on he would gain more. He gained more experience, so it should have been easier for him, but hey man, not necessarily.
What more can I say?
Top Billin.